Well, hey, it is 7 o'clock. I'd like to call this, what is today? 27th January Board of Supervisors meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Would you join us in a moment of silence, please? Okay, well, thanks everyone for coming out this evening. First item on the agenda is citizen participation. This is for items on the agenda. Do we have any at this time? Hearing none, we'll move on to approval of the minutes. The first one is the December 16th Board of Supervisors meeting. Anybody have comments, questions, corrections? Motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Minutes from December 16th are approved. Thank you for those, Tanya.
Very good.
And then that takes us to the January 5th reorg meeting. Comments, questions, concerns, clarifications, motion? I'll make a motion if there are none. Second.
I'll second
Charlie second, all in favor?
Aye.
Minutes from the January 5th reorg meeting are approved. Thank you also for those, Tanya. Let's go to municipal zoning reports. Thank you for these in order. So there is one item, tank replacement permit. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, that would be the second one. Zoning code enforcement report. Variance hearing for 85 Idle Road and also one for 89 Cherry Drive. And then invoices, we've got 3.
Yes.
First one is for $6,746.25. Are these payable with one check or through 3 checks?
There's actually 2. The one invoice came in, the $100 and some odd dollar check came in earlier than the other ones, and it was paid with, no, they are one check, I'm sorry.
Okay. Total of that one check?
$8,252.35.
8,250?
235.
8,235.
52.35.
Sorry. Okay, thank you. Okay, so the first invoice is $6,746.25. Second one is $1,394.60, and then the third one is $111.50, for a total of $8,252.35. Motion to approve payment of that invoice, those invoices.
So moved.
Second,
I'll second it.
payment to JHA companies for those 3 is approved. Thank you, Tanya.
Are they about done with their engineering and
On
That I
Heis-
know for
Heisley?
Heisley.
I was gonna give you an update on that. I did have a call from Senator Rothman's office on Thursday, and they are still working on getting funds for us. The number that they were given last year, or a year and a half ago, whenever that was $170,000. I tallied what we've already spent in engineering fees. I don't remember what the number was right now, but I'm gonna send that to them, and I'm waiting. Max told me he would have me an estimate for that project this week. So I was gonna get in touch with him once I had everything together. I told her it may be more than that, considering what we've already spent on engineering for
Right,
it.
and whatever, yeah, what their
with the big.
right, because
what
we had
their
that
estimate- what their
Aquanish
estimate comes in
invoice,
at, yeah.
for that
Yeah,
hydraulic study and stuff, so, I have been in touch with them, but they know we want it done this year, so.
yeah.
I was just questioning, because the last one of these I was involved in was the 3-section square culvert pipe we put in idle down there.
Yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, that one's out of it.
Where was it?
I think the whole thing was like 11 or 12,000 that was installed and everything. I may be wrong, but I don't think we had to engineer.
Well, there's not, there's not a deep,
Yeah,
right, that's
it's
the,
not
that's
as
the big
in
one
depth,
there.
I mean, just from that to what we got
Yeah.
down here, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's night and day, unfortunately.
Okay, that takes us to item B, sewage enforcement. This is for Frederick Siebert and Associates. Permit for tank replacement for a total of $200. Motion to approve payment of that invoice.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Or, I'm sorry, that's your second, your second, all in favor? Aye. Okay. Bill is approved to be paid, sorry. Okay, Charlie, road report, Sean?
I got it. The normal, we had, some snow, guys were mixing some salt cinders, they replaced, battery terminals on truck 4, rebuilt some chains on truck 2. Another wiring harness for plow control. This was the day we took the tree down at Lamb's Gap, yeah. There was some hydraulic motors, auger motors, seals, new cutting edge on plow 4. Cleaned up some multiple trees due to some winds that we had early in January. Cleaned side ditches. The new generator has been installed and working. And then when the cold front moved through, they were in here doing some upkeep, upgrading in here. That's about it.
So we had quite a storm that you participated in. Can you elaborate on who participated in cleaning up and?
This past weekend, starting Sunday morning at approximately 5 o'clock, we went out the door and never come back till about 5:30 that evening.
Who all was we? So
We
know who to
had
thank.
Johnny, Willie, Tim Kaufman, who lives up on Pine Hill Road, and myself. We kind of like split territories from one end to the other, and if anybody needed help, we went. Willie basically had from Mountaindale, Flowers, Holly Road down through Heisley's. He was going up Bellevue, turn around, come back down. And then I had Bellevue, the new section and the old section, the roads, cul-de-sacs, and everything in Leewood. Johnny had from probably here out to Miller's Gap. Tim took care of Miller's Gap when Johnny was coming back through to pick up Pierce and a couple other ones. And then he maintained basically up Pine Hill and up Mountain Road, and we kept in touch with phone, and everybody was great. We come back here probably about 1:30, 2 o'clock, took a 20-minute break, long enough to eat a sub. We had windshield wiper problems, and of all the days to have that, so. And then Monday morning, I think we were out, well, they were out for 8 hours. I came back in for probably 6, 5 anyhow. Tim Kaufman, he was back in for a while. It was basically clean up. And then we really cindered everything because of the freezing.
Yeah.
We tried not to use a whole lot through the whole scraping process, excuse me, on Sunday. We did hit the hard areas, hills and stuff like that. Basically, that was for our own safety, and if anybody did come out, they could at least get back in, but.
Right.
There was times I looked out on 850 and I think they went through maybe twice the whole day. So I don't know
Yeah, 850 was.
if anybody's in here from any of the developments, but I think it was pretty decent by the time we left Sunday. I mean, at least you could get in and out if you had to. So,
Yeah, 850 wasn't the greatest yesterday, even at 11 o'clock whenever I went. But it's all better now, so.
of course, Johnny come in here. Well, him and Willie stayed here overnight.
Saturday night.
Saturday night, I went home. And then, well, they were here Sunday night too when we left, when we quit, they slept here. And we figured on coming in about 5, well, it ended up they couldn't really sleep, so they started about 3. When I started cleaning things up, because I got here, the lights were on, but nobody was here. I called him, he said, just get your truck and go. But yeah, it's an experience, it's been a while since I've done any of that, but wow.
Well, hey, thank you very much for
Yes.
doing all that and coordinating it and putting yourself
Johnny
and
had pretty
others.
much.
Well, the
Yeah.
whole group, because again, while the rest of us sat at home and were safe and warm and comfortable, you were out doing the tedious work and
Right.
keeping that well.
I'm sure there were
It's greatly
some,
appreciated.
some upset people in the developments, because it just seemed like they were starting to get around the mailbox and come through again.
Yeah. Hey,
Like I said, Johnny came in, woke up, you know, I found out later on, I didn't know much about this stupid nor'easter they were calling for. And, oh, he was just like, he was nuts. We gotta get everything back. We're gonna get more. But you gotta be ready for it.
well, and Tanya also, thank you. I think you had a hand in coordinating and making everything, and Kurt. So, yeah, greatly appreciated. Thank you. And at this point, so I may as well, also, it's not on the agenda, but I think we can speak about it. So you may have noticed the building is nice and refreshed, and it's in process, so there's still a lot of work going on. But again, Tanya and the road crew are making all this happen and making it nicer, so again, thanks for that. That takes us to the rec board report. Don't believe we have one this evening. So, emergency management report, Kurt?
Yeah, during our last meeting, we talked a little bit about the radios and how insufficient they were as it relates to the topography of the township. So I called B. Moyer Radio. I talked to Bob a little bit about, you know, just aren't able to get from point A to point B with the radios. And he suggested, and this is the permission that you guys had granted last meeting, he's gonna come out and take a look at the antennas. He's gonna bring a used repeater out and see how it does. Then we'll do another test. And I told him that we certainly don't wanna invest any more money if we aren't able to, make it work. With that being said, I contacted, from my driveway, I contacted the 911 center with no problem at all. That's in Bloomfield. That's because we're bouncing off the repeater up here on Tower Road.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think maybe perhaps with a different antenna on the building and a repeater, I think we'll be able to hit majority of the township. But again, we have to test it and get his thoughts on it as well.
Okay.
So I don't have a date for that quite yet. Bob has to get back to me on a date, but when he does, I'll let Tommy know so she can send out an email to you guys. Just to elaborate a little bit on the snow event, communication. Tony and I were in constant communication as it related to the event. It had the Shermansdale Fire Chief, Mike Minnick, and Alex Kaliveris out of Leewood. They were in tune with what Rye Township was going to do. I had them on dual dispatch, meaning that if the fire came out, or if East Pennsboro would come up or Shermansdale would come into the township, they would dispatch. the fire department at the same time. They would send their four-wheel drive brush trucks out. And at that time, we would also contact one of the plow trucks to be in front of all of that, just to make sure that we had access. So that was all coordinated up front and before the event occurred. The warming center over here at Glenvale, that was ready to go. I had access to that as well. So I think it all went really well, and it's a good practice for what may be needed in the future. And so from emergency management perspective, everything went really well. Thank you, Tanya, for all your
Thank
help.
you. You guys did a phenomenal job.
That's all I have. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you, Kurt. Financial treasurer's report, Tanya?
Okay. General fund checking had a starting balance of $270,149.85. Receipts. I can't read my own writing tonight. Receipts of $868,542.25, and the bulk of that was transfers from the Cetera accounts and some CDs that filtered through the general fund into PLGIT. Expenditures of $943,721.93. Again, most of that was the transfers then into PLGIT. Leaving interest of $369.73, leaving an ending balance of $195,339.90. Penny and bank general checking, starting balance of $2,313.31, interest only of 31 cents, ending balance of $23,1362. American Rescue Fund funds are zeroed out. Bank of Landisburg general savings, starting balance of $2,535.05, interest only of 65 cents, leaving an ending balance of $2,535.70. Mid-Penn Liquid Fuels checking had a starting balance of $9,920.67, interest only of $11.57, leaving an ending balance of $9,932.24. Bank of Landisburg Liquid Fuels Money Market Savings, starting balance of $2,720.92, interest only of 69 cents, leaving an ending balance of $2,721.61. And then you'll see on the back page is the PLGIT accounts that we now have. The receipts going in, we had a starting balance of 0. I started depositing in December. Our receipts going in were $866,899.65. I withdrew $643,814.82 into CDs. We had bank fees to purchase those CDs, but the interest rate will, we will recoup that like in the first month because of the difference in the interest rates. The ending balance of interest on the monies that are still remaining in PLGIT, not the CD portion, just the money that's left over after the CD monies were taken out, which that balance was $222,119.11. The interest was $627.14 for an ending balance in the PLGIT Prime account of $222,746.25. Did everybody understand that? So we put a bunch of money in, we put some of it into CDs, and the remaining balance is what we got the interest on, so I'll know interest now after the first month on these CDs.
Okay, thank you, Tom.
You're welcome.
Okay, that takes us to resolutions. Resolution 2609, the fee schedule for 2026.
And it is the exact duplicate of last year's.
So we didn't change
We did
anything.
not change, in the budget, we did not budget for any changes in the fee schedule.
Okay, well then that's easy. Make a motion to approve resolution 2609. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Sean second, all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 2609 is approved. Nothing to sign on that one.
Isn't there a second page? back page.
My frozen fingers are, yes. Sorry about that.
I'm not above forgetting, but
No, no, no.
I thought it was there.
Takes us to resolution 26-10. Tanya, can you elaborate on
We have a road project CD that's coming due in February, and I'd like to move it into PLGIT, and then I'm gonna combine it with one that we cashed that was due in December, and also the road equipment money, tax monies, that were deposited into PLGIT at the end of December for last year. And I'm gonna combine them all together and put them into a CD at PLGIT.
that? Okay. Motion to approve resolution 26-10.
I'll make a motion.
Charlie makes the motion. Sean, sounds like you were about to
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 26-10 is approved. Resolution 26-11 regarding solid waste.
Solid waste investment CD that's coming due, and I'd like to move it into PLGIT. The rates, just to give you an example, even if I just left it in the PLGIT prime fund, it's like 3.81, and the best rate I could get, and it would require me running to Shermansdale all the time, is 3.68. And that's only for 7 months.
First CD, first put it in a CD.
Yeah. So I can do it electronically and I don't have to run to the banks, and the interest rate's better, so I think it's a win-win.
All right, well, with that, we have a motion to approve resolution 26-11.
I'll make a motion.
Charlie makes the motion.
I'll second.
Sean seconds, all in favor? Resolution 26-11 is approved. Shermansdale Fire Company contract.
It appeared to me that it was very similar, not exactly
It's
the
probably
same
the
as
same as
previous.
last year's.
Yeah.
Same thing from the last 45 years.
Right.
It doesn't change much.
There's just 2 copies. of it. Want to take that?
Yeah. About the same drippers too.
Yeah.
So it's on,
Well, we need to make a motion first.
motion.
You make a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the Shermansdale Fire Department's contract.
I'll second it.
Sean second, all in favor? Aye. Contract is approved.
Okay.
Okay. I want to get swipe it to her. Thank you, sir. Authorize a request for proposal for the spring cleanup to be held May 1st and May 2nd.
I have a copy of the RFP all ready to go. In fact, they're already in the envelopes, ready to mail. I'm just, Sean did not get a chance to look at that, but it's primarily exactly what
What we
we've
did- we
been
did last-
using.
yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Looks like nothing's changed. right?
No, looks like nothing's changed, correct?
Except we took the names off and we're just using stickers.
Okay.
We're streamlining
Right.
things as much as what we can.
Yeah.
Instead of typing out and having.
Instead of having to print
12
out all,
copies,
right, it's just
yeah.
one copy with whoever's
Mhm.
label on
And that way, if we add somebody new or take somebody away.
it. Right, it's, yeah. All it is just deleting a sticker or adding one.
A solid wish.
I'll make a motion to authorize the RFP.
Okay, I'll second, all in favor?
Thank you. They'll go out
RFP is
tomorrow.
approved.
You don't need to do anything. Just
So
wanted you to
Just
see it.
you got the, yeah, you got the okey
Do you
dokey.
need a good copy of that, Sean?
I could, yeah.
Okay, item C, announce the elected auditors set wages. Announce elected auditors set wages. Elected officials working part-time as employees to receive $15.25 an hour.
That's it. The
You don't
auditors
need
just.
a,
no.
yeah, it's just a, yeah,
That's-
it's
that
just-
was
is what it is.
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you. And then accept the 2026 tax certification.
We don't have any documents for it. I just got the tax book and I've never seen this done before.
Okay.
That we accepted, I mean, but I pulled the numbers out of the book as to what we expect to collect if we took just, you know,
Mhm.
the baseline. So the real estate would be $171,275.47 and the per capita would be $9,095.
Okay. You just need a motion to accept the
Yeah,
2026
like I
tax
said, I've
certification.
never seen that on an agenda before,
Okay.
but I put it back on there because that's what you guys were doing before, so.
I'll make a motion to accept that tax certification. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Sean, second. All in favor?
Aye.
2026 tax certification is accepted. And then item E, authorize advertisement of road bids for acceptance at the April 28th meeting.
Yeah, I'd like to get them bid on in February so that we can get better pricing. And then open them in April to hopefully that they can get started early in the summer. When I had done the pricing for the budget, those that I spoke to said they'd give me better pricing if I could get the bids out early, like February. So,
Okay.
Rick Levan, I'm telling you,
No?
it's,
Okay.
yes. So Rick Levan will be coming out either next week or the beginning of the following week, I forget. But he's gonna be coming out, going out with Johnny again to get all the measurements, exact measurements and everything, to get things put together so that I can get it out. I'd like to get them out early. I don't want us to be paving in September.
No. Nobody wants to see that.
Okay. Motion to authorize advertisement.
So I'll make that motion to authorize
Sean,
advertisement.
Sean makes the motion.
I'll second it.
Charlie, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Advertisement for road bids. Thanks for putting that together, Tanya.
Mhm.
Forgetting Associates, a request for time extension for the Barlup Final Minor Subdivision Land Development Plan.
Yeah, the planning commission's already reviewed that, but you guys are the ones that have to grant the extension. So.
Okay, and they didn't, planning commission didn't have any?
No.
No.
Sean,
No heartburn.
I wasn't here, but I
Yeah.
saw the minutes.
Okay. Made a motion to approve that extension. Do we have a
I'll
second?
second.
Charlie, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Extension is Granted?
Sean, is there a time limit on how long they can continue to do this?
There is, but it's pretty long as
Okay.
far as I recall, but
Pretty long being about, because this.
like 5 years.
Oh,
okay.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty,
Okay.
yeah, it's pretty extensive.
Okay.
I mean, I know we gave them a lot of options, and there was they had some family stuff going on too with them, so I mean, I understand it, but I would have thought we would have come to a conclusion by now, but maybe this time will be the charm.
Okay. Item G, element power generator maintenance plan proposal. Do we have some?
Yeah, so they installed the new generator, and he came in and talked to me after he put it in, and they have a maintenance plan. There's an app that we could download onto one of our phones that we could actually, it would alert us if there's an issue, but it would also, we could check the status of it. We have not done that yet because they have a,
Excuse me.
I can't think of my words, maintenance proposal. It's only $200 a year where they'll do all that for us, as well as change the oil and filters and all of those other things. And I talked to Charlie about it a little bit. We kind of thought it was a no-brainer, so before we did
It seemed
anything.
like the last time, well, Daisy, she just called anybody that would answer the phone.
Yeah, yeah.
And
No,
they put like new coils on that thing and a whole bunch of other stuff and never fixed it.
Right.
well, so $200 a year is cheap. And
That
then,
is cheap.
and then
You couldn't get a forklift maintenance for that.
And then he will actually monitor it for us from his phone.
Okay.
Right. Well, and if it sends an alert, it actually sends it to
Yes,
them.
it sends it to
Yeah.
them, and they know that there's a
That's
problem.
right there.
I mean, that's,
Well,
Yeah.
and then a warranty, so I assume we got a warranty,
Yes.
but is this
There's
part
more
of,
on
you
the
have to do
back.
it to get the warranty? Terms of this agreement will be for a period of 1 year beginning on the effective date as signed above. The Power Net Air LLC agrees to provide the maintenance services as detailed on page 1 of this agreement.
He's already registered it for us for the warranty.
for the warranty
Yes,
stuff.
because I already got the email.
This agreement will automatically renew on its anniversary date unless either party shall notify the other party in writing. $200 on it, you're right. It's cheap.
that's cheap insurance.
Motion to go with the plan, I'll make that motion.
I would, because you're not gonna get anything for,
That sounds like a second.
I mean, yeah, I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's-
You're
Maintenance
not
plan
gonna
is
get a
approved.
maintenance call for $200.
Yeah.
Get somebody to come out, let alone do anything.
Cause I know Lip was up to like $50 for service charge.
Mm-hmm.
This one's ready to sign?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good deal.
They were very efficient at coming in and getting those switched out and everything for us. They did a good job.
How long did it take them?
A couple
John-
hours.
John said there was about 2 hours.
Yeah,
were
they
gone.
weren't here that long.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, they were not, they had 3 of them here working.
Oh, well.
Yeah, and they were
That
able to pull
helps.
right up to it, yeah. Yeah, and then like I said, he came in and talked to me afterward, and I'm like,
And
ooh.
it's already run a couple cycles, so.
Okay.
It's doing its thing.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Well, that was item G. Okay, that takes us to item H, announcements. So the office will be closed for President's Day, which is February 16th. Planning Commission meeting will be February 3rd at 7:30 PM right here. And then spring cleanup is going to be Friday, May 1st, and Saturday, May 2nd. Approval and payment of the bills, please.
General fund check numbers 18531 to 18558 in the amount of $36,643.59, no checks void. Payroll checks number 8622 to 8626 in the amount of $6,061.41, no checks void. And payroll checks number 8627 to 8634 in the amount of $5,091.20, no checks void.
Okay, make a motion to approve payment of the bills. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Charlie second, all in favor?
Aye.
Payment of the bills is approved. Kurt, may I ask you a favor?
Sure.
There should be a list there for citizen participation. I don't think we've got it before we. Thank you very much. Okay, this takes us to citizen participation. Do we have, John, you were on the list?
Yep. Thank you. All right. I'm going to read a statement from Rebecca Schulze, the president of the Rye Township Community Association. She is a conflicting meeting for another community nonprofit organization and could not be in attendance. I have obtained the Rye Township submission to DEP regarding your floodway and floodplain issues. The application was noted as being written by the Township Floodplain Administrator Gordon Warren and submitted by Max Stoner, the Township Engineer. It states that Rye Township's yard fence in the floodway is unlikely to result in significant accumulation of debris, which could result in obstructions to the passage of flood flows. The cross-sectional area of any location along the fence is approximately a 4-inch post width by 6 feet in height. He continues that this is negligible in any reduction in flow of Fishing Creek. For the fence in the floodplain, the mapping elevations and areas were based on the assumption that all areas within the floodplain were fully developed without causing a 1-foot increase, which was acceptable at that time. No hydraulic or hydrology study was completed by Rye Township with that submission. The chain link fence at the Rye Township property is the same 6-foot tall chain link fence as the Rye Park ball field and sits less than 100 feet apart at places. The yard fence is closer to the creek than the park ball field fencing. Gordon Warren stated that the Rye Park ball field fence is likely to collect considerable debris, which will substantially reduce the flood flow conveyance capacity of Fishing Creek. He continued that any statement offered that the replacement was simply a replacement in kind, and accordingly, it is intuitive that no increase in water surface elevations will not be considered adequate documentation. He was requiring a $15,000 H&H study to be completed within 30 days, which is impossible to complete in that time frame, and it was intended to be that way. How does the same fence in the same area be treated so differently by the floodplain administrator, Gordon Warren, unless this was selective enforcement? The township took over 7 months to submit their application to DEP for their floodway and floodplain issues. The RTCA obtained our permit approving the entire ball field from DEP before you even submitted the application. The township's fence, fill, and buildings block the entirety of this side of the creek, from the edge of the creek up to New Valley Road. Please know that the Rye Park ball field was constructed prior to the development of the Rye Township municipal property and should not be treated differently from the township, especially when the ball field fence replacement was less than what was originally along the outfield, the removal of the sideline fences, and the removal of the dugouts. The lawsuit by Rye Township against the park and RTCA is unfounded, unwarranted, and targeting. This targeting by the previous secretary, floodplain administrator, and supervisors is unacceptable in destroying our community. This all stems from Rye Township officials not successfully completing a hostile takeover of the RTCA and park property in the fall of 2021. No matter how much good the RTCA does for this community, it is unacceptable to the township that we exist and have created a beautiful park for the community again. The RTCA has submitted an agreement to end this lawsuit, and the attorney that represented the township at the January 2nd hearing noted he would be working to get the township to come to an agreement. It seems like the township plans to continue this, as we have received no communication to end it. When will you start thinking about the community that you live in and the money that you were entrusted with using for community good, instead of using it for personal vendettas? Remember that if just 2 supervisors feel this is an incorrect use of township funds, you can end this. If none of you speaks up against this tonight, this community will see it, and it will be taken that all 3 of you are in favor of wasting taxpayer money and destroying this parking community. Thank you.
If you could provide a copy of that, John, to the township, and if our solicitor wishes to add a comment, make a comment, otherwise the board.
Yeah, I don't
does
think
not
it's
have any
necessary to make any further
Okay.
comments.
Okay, any other public comment? Hearing none. Make a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second? I'll
Second.
Shirley second, all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned at 7:40.